standing here at the entrance to Tulum. This is a popular destination to come to in Mexico. It's in the heart of the Mayan territory and there's a lot of beautiful jungle around, but this is the main highway going in and out of the town. And as you can hear, it's really noisy and there's a lot of pollution, and all of this traffic goes straight into the village where most people are staying and supposedly enjoying their holiday. There's a lot of hippie people who gravitate to this place, a lot of American tourists, and it's supposed to be a place of healing and retreats and enlightenment, but there's a lot of pollution and a lot of noise and traffic, and it's quite stressful. But we're gonna go uncover what it's like in Tulum in this video, so come with me and check it out. So I'm just walking in, and as you can see, there's all of these buses, tour buses, next to me, and on the other side there's just piles and piles of trash. I guess people from the bus who are eating snacks and everything, all of it just gets thrown here onto the edge of the jungle. So yeah, this is how you get into Tulum. This is the first thing you're gonna see, and yeah, let's see what else comes up. Just staying here in the heart of the village in this Airbnb. It's got this amazing rooftop terrace, really local vibe. I'm just going to be heading out this morning to check out what's going on in Tulum, the shops, the vibe and everything, and see if I can meet some hippies as well. So let's go. So this is the main strip. It's quite early in the morning still, so it's not that busy. It was a lot busier later in the day, but this is where all the cafes and bars are, and the shops selling like tourist stuff. There's a lot of people coming here to just drink, sit in the cafes and basically just consume. I think this is basically the main attraction, but as you can see, this is where all the traffic comes up and down from the main highway coming in and out of Tulum. This is actually quite quiet. As the day goes on, the traffic gets louder and louder and busier and busier, so it's kind of a disgusting place to kind of sit and chill and have food with all of this traffic, but it seems to be what people want to do. So yeah, check this out. There's some squash just growing on the side of the road. Don't know if the person's deliberately planted it here or it could be wild squash. There's a lot of roadside food that's been planted by the local people. So I just stumbled into this little community gardens in the center of Tulum. It's a little back route. It's really amazing. They seem to be doing some compost here. They have eco bricks that they're making, and there's lots of fruit trees. There's papayas, there's bananas, guava, and all sorts of stuff growing here. And what I recently found out actually is that Mesoamerica is the birthplace of a lot of the delicious food that we see all over the world. The tomatoes, squashes, cacao, coffee, papaya, all of these things come from here. So it's great to see this community garden because it's a replica of how indigenous people were growing things all together, all in harmony with nature, not in these long rows, just like, you know, just as you see around me. What's great about this place as well is there's a lot of biodiversity. I've seen a gecko, butterflies, even a snake, and yeah, like all sorts of animals, birds. I saw these beautiful bluebirds. So yeah, this is just an example of how we need more of these spaces within the cityscape. It's incredible what's going on here, and I'd love to see more of this everywhere in the world. It's given me a little bit of hope for Tulum. There isn't a complete tourist trap there. There is something here that is really authentic, and I hope to see more of that in my Mesoamerican journey that I'm going to take you with me on. So yeah, let's see what else we can see in Tulum. I've heard there is a beach, but it's really far away from like the city, like you have to get a taxi there. So maybe I'm going to go cool off in the heat of the day and just check it out and see if it's actually nice. I've heard it can be a little bit harsh to get there, like it's just really far and the traffic's really busy. So let's go and take a look. So I was kind of speechless when I arrived at the Tulum beach because of all the seaweed that you see there all over, and it kind of smelled really bad. It smells of rotten eggs, and I didn't really understand the full extent of it all, and I didn't really talk about it, you know, here in the moment. This is me after the fact looking into it all to find out that actually that smell is this type of seaweed called Sargasso, which is decomposing, and it releases a hydrogen sulfide gas and ammonia, which is toxic to humans, can cause all types of neural and respiratory problems. So it's not good, and it's a problem that's been arising since, I guess, 2011. Apparently this is when it's been reported to be washing up in the Eastern Caribbean and spoiling beaches. But it's not just, you know, unsightly and stinky, but it's also really detrimental to our ecosystems. Basically, under normal conditions, the Sargassum is a thriving ecosystem providing vital habitat and food source for many sea species, but it's been growing too thickly and causing problems in that dolphins and turtles are unable to break the surface because it's literally thick masses of floating seaweed. And the reason why it's happening is because of all these toxic chemicals that are being used in agriculture, mainly fertilizers apparently coming from the Amazon and Congo river basins, and dust blown in from the Sahara Desert carrying nitrogen and phosphorus and iron is increasing the surface temperature of the ocean, which is just creating a breeding ground for this Sargasso. So here is the reality of what these mass scale monoculture agriculture practices are doing to our planet. It's causing a detrimental effect to marine life, human life, and ecosystems in general. These floating sargassums span across the whole of the Atlantic Ocean, and this is something that can be solved from what I was talking about earlier in returning to a more natural way of growing and living in harmony with nature. So I'm walking through the streets of Tulum, and there's all this amazing artwork everywhere, which is kind of famous in Mexico to see all of this colorful kind of artistic architecture and paintings and murals. But also what is quite famous is their food, and that goes way back in history to the Mayan and the Aztec cultures. They were really good organic growers, and that's what allowed the civilization to thrive. So for me, being in Mexico is one of my dreams because I love food, and if you follow me on Instagram you will see all the food that I make, lots of vegan stuff, but I'm really passionate about organic food, and unfortunately in this region, Quintana Roo, it's quite difficult to get hold of organic food because the area is made of limestone, like the ground, and it's hard to grow on. So you will see a lot of fruit and vegetables, but they will say it's fresh or natural, but we don't know if it's organic half the time. A lot of people don't know where it's grown. So I've been finding out that it's pretty hard to find organic food, but I have found this gem here in Tulum, and that's one of the reasons why I've come here. Like a lot of people who come here, they come to eat in restaurants and cafes and enjoy all the food and delights here, but unfortunately not all this food is conscious food. For me, eating organic is eating consciously, since it's good for the environment, and even when I'm traveling I stick by that, and I will cook my own food instead of going to cafes. So come and join me, check out this shop, see what they've got, and then I'm going to cook something delicious later on. I got a big jackfruit, and this is the chef. He made this delicious chorizo, and got lots of courgettes. En español, ¿cómo se dice?
Calamacitas.
Calamacitas. Este también.
Zucchini.
Zucchini. zanahorias,
curry,
y falafel, and
tomate, rum,
todos orgánicos.
todo orgánico.
Vale. ¿Cuánto tiempo what's the name for shop?
¿Cuánto tiempo llevamos abierto?
Sí.
Llevamos 2 años laborando en Tulum.
So I've got my organic food. It's a lovely shop in here. Everything's natural and organic and delicious. So I've just been pulling out the jackfruit fruits from in here, piling them on the plate, but it's so sticky. You can see it's all over my hands. So it's quite messy, but it's really worth it. The fruit tastes like kind of juicy fruit. So lovely and tropical. And I'm keeping the seeds. They're healthy as well. When they're young, you can eat them and cook them, but you can also grind them down. And apparently you can make an anti-wrinkle cream with them.